Facebook, but you should have something that says either create ads or manage ads. And you can just click right there, and you can do it just from your personal profile. These are just a few of the accounts that I run. But we're going to hop into Audience Insights. So right up here, there's a couple lines. Click that, and you can get right into Audience Insights right here. There's all sorts of tools in Facebook, and I know it can look really, really confusing, and that's why I want to simplify it. I try to keep things very, very simple, and so I want to simplify this for you so that you are actually taking action on the 80% of what actually matters. It's kind of a common saying that 80% of your revenue is going to come from about 20% of the work or 20% of your products. And so it's almost the same in Facebook, that only about 20% of all the buttons on Facebook Business is going to account for 80% of your success. And the other 80% of all the buttons on Facebook is really only going to increase it a little bit. So as long as you know all the basics, which I'm going to show you today, you can really get really, really far with Facebook and probably get clients to hire you. Maybe do a couple ads on AliExpress, and then eventually clients will actually pay you $10,000 a month sometimes just to run their advertising campaigns, and you're not spending any ad dollars. You're getting paid money, and all you have to do is manage their ads for a couple hours a day, and you're getting paid $10K a month. And that's only one client. So imagine if you could get 5 to 10 clients a month and make $50,000 to $100,000 a month sitting on your computer wherever you want in the world. So let's get started with some Audience Insights. That'll pop up. Just do everyone on Facebook. Now, Audience Insights, what this allows you to do is it allows you to kind of just, it gives you, it's kind of what it means. It gives you some insights for the audience that you're going to create on Facebook. So when you create an audience is a set group of people on Facebook with either an interest group in something, like you could target people that like golf, you could target people that work for colleges, you could target people that work in the construction industry. You can actually do behaviors as well, and Facebook tracks people's behaviors. And let's say you're a car dealership, you can actually target people that are in the market for a car in the next 90 days. If you're a real estate agent, you can track who is in the market for a house in the next 60 days. And you can target based on income if they make over $100,000 a year. You can target based on how many credit cards they have. It's really, really powerful, and it's nuts, because think about back in the day when you launch a radio ad or a TV ad. Yeah, you can choose which station you want it on, but you don't know if your ad ever worked. You're just crossing your fingers and hope people come into your store. Now you can launch a Facebook ad, and get this. This is the amazing part. You can launch a Facebook ad and within hours have data and tells you exactly if people like your ad or don't like your ad. And you can spend literally dollars or even pennies in order to figure out if your ad campaign is working. And so what I like to do is a lot of different things in order to guarantee my success on Facebook. And I have a few ways that you can guarantee your success on Facebook. So let's jump into it. This right here is your demographics area. So you can, I'm not going to go over everything today. I do want to provide you guys with a lot of value, so if I get too advanced for you, I will have some future webinars. If you stick on for the whole thing, you'll find out more, and I will show every step of the process, but I do want to provide some high-level content for you today. Because Jim brought me on, I definitely want to make it worth your guys' while today. So these are just some, you can target based on married, engaged, single. You can see down here job titles, and so I like to go this tab right here called Page Likes. This is kind of where I stick. I just go to Audience Insights, hits Page Likes. So let's say you want to sell a watch, or you're a watch company. So I'm going to just type in watch here. Now what this is this means anyone that's interested in a watch. Facebook has this knowledge and knows that people are interested in watches based on if you were on a watch website, or if you were looking at a watch, or if you were scrolling and you stopped on a watch that you saw. Facebook keeps track of all this. Now, if you do this interest group called watch, you can see there's 30 million to 35 million monthly active people that are interested in watch. But the top categories that these people that are interested in watch are in are, you can see that these are very general things. You can see tequila, IKEA, Dollar Shave Club, Groupon, T-Mobile, Nordstrom. So these people are probably interested in watches, but they're also interested in a lot of other things. And so it's a very general targeting audience. And the power of Facebook is we want to leverage their interest groups in order to maximize our revenue on our stores and get the most ROI for our money, the return on investment. That's the most important part. Actually, in the Facebook world, we call it ROAS, which is ROAS for return on ad spend, and that's the most important stat that we look at. You want to be able to spend $5 and make $25. So I'm going to get a little bit more specific with it. Instead of just typing in watch, I might type in Rolex watch. So Rolex. Now let's see what top categories these people are interested in. Okay, so it's still a little bit more general. You can see that this crowd has a little bit more money possibly. They like Land Rovers and Patron, and Mercedes Patron was on the last one, Cadillac. So let's even get more specific. Let's type in watch and see what comes up. Let's see, let's go to Swatch. So you can see another general area. So sometimes this will happen, and it's kind of hard to know exactly what to type in without getting suggestions from Facebook. So I'm going to show you a really neat trick that I like to use. I'm going to go over here to Power Editor, and I'm just going to go into ad sets right here. And just for sake of just showing you some stuff, I'm actually just gonna duplicate an existing ad to make this quick. I am gonna go over campaigns and ad sets if you stick on for the whole webinar, but I just want to show you a neat trick that I like to use. So if you go in here to ad set, this is where you create your ad set and you do your targeting. Now if you go all the way down to here, you can see there's interest groups that you can target. Detailed targeting is what they call it. Now this is going to be the same input as the audience insights over here. So the same input right there is actually right here. It just looks a little bit different, but it's the same box. So I'm going to type in Rolex watch here. Now watch this. Watch what happens. Oh. So now you can actually hit suggestions. And now Facebook is going to suggest to you other watch companies and other interest groups that pertain to Rolex, because not every watch is on Facebook. If a watch company is not advertising on Facebook, they may not have that interest group. So luxury watches. Let's go over to Audience Insights and type in luxury watches. We want to find a passionate audience, and you'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. So now, okay, so look at this. So now we have luxury watches. Now in these top categories of what people like, we have Invicta watch, we have JS watch, Joma Shop, we have, which is a watch company. I know that because I like watches. We have luxury watches, Turno. That I might be saying that wrong, but that's a watch company. And Rolex Passion. And so you can see that this audience right here, the luxury watches, actually really like watches, because out of the top 10 categories that they like, about 4 or 5 of them are watch companies. You can even scroll down here to page likes, and these are the pages that the people in this luxury watch interest group are most likely going to also be interested in. And Facebook knows this with its immense amount of data that it has. It collects millions of lines of code on each person and a lot of metadata and psychoanalysis data on each person on how you click, what you like, what you share. And for the life of you've had your Facebook account and there's 330 million active users just in the US monthly on Facebook. 330 million people. Imagine if you could put your ad in front of 330 million people, or 2 million people that are highly, highly targeted that love watches, compared to if you just put your watch on the Super Bowl ad and you pay them $100K for a 30-second ad, and you're just crossing your fingers hoping that you might get a few watch sales or people might hear about your brand. You can do this on Facebook now and choose exactly who's going to see your ad. That's the beauty of Facebook ads these days. So now what we're going to do is we're going to type in some of these other watches to try to get this score to stay about at 500 or higher is where we want it. And we also, it's kind of like a game that I play. So you want to keep this number at about 500 or higher, and you also want to keep this number at about 2 million or maybe even a little bit higher. And so we're going to type in the Tourneo. I don't know how to say that. I might be saying it wrong. Don't get mad, please. I'm not the best grammar person, but I do know about Facebook ads. So we typed in that. Our audience got a little bit bigger. You can see that their interest. Look at this. Discount Watch Store, JS Watch, Bob's Watches, Joma Shop, Invicta Watch. These are the top 5 categories that these people are interested in. Men's Warehouse. So you can tell that these people are people that like watches, like dressing nice, like fashion. So these are the type of people that we want to show our ad to. Now I'm going to do Invicta Watch because I see that right there. Let's do Discount Watch Store. Now I don't know if I'm going to have time to get to 2 million on this webinar. This is a live webinar. I want to prove to you it's live. It's not a recording. And so sometimes I can be in here for hours on a day building 10 to 20 different audiences out, and I might build 5 different watch audiences out just to split test different things, or I might build a construction audience out for a customer, or a massage audience, or a dentist audience. And there's so many different things that you can do, but it's very important that you show your ad to the right people. But look at this. This is really interesting, guys. So Invicta Watch, people that are in this audience, these 200,000 people, are very likely to like watches. If you put a watch in front of them that might look like an Invicta watch or something, those fat watches that you see, there's a good chance that they're going to buy that watch. Now I'm just going to put Invicta Stores because I see that down there. And then let's do, we've got discount, let's do ISW Watch because we see that. So that's not an audience. So sometimes they don't have an audience. That company, yeah. So see, you can see that this audience of ISW Watch is only 17,000 people. So Facebook hasn't made an interest group for it. That's another topic for another day. That's a little bit advanced, but I just want to kind of show you this. So let's use this audience right here. So we have Discount Watch Store, Invicta Watch Group. And I have so many ad accounts that I'm just going to, you can actually save this audience right here. I'd do Watch Group 01. I'd save it. And then we're going to, and I have so many ad accounts, I may just copy and paste that over, so that's 208. So I'm going to go on to 208, right here. So we're going to create a campaign. This is exactly how you do it. There's a lot of different campaigns. I don't have time to talk about them all today, but I want to show you kind of the most important one. It's really easy to get started. It only takes about 24 hours to know if your ad's working or not. Once you get more advanced, I can look at ads within a few hours, and based on the hundreds of columns of data that Facebook has, you can see columns, there's performance and clicks, all sorts of different stuff here, and they show all these different ad stats right here, and based on like it's almost like playing the stock market. Like I can just look at these numbers when you see like ad columns. Like let me go to another account real fast just to kind of give you an example in case you haven't done this before. So this is just recent ads. I haven't launched ads for myself for a while now. We'll do lifetime. So you can see there's all sorts of different columns here that Facebook has built out for you. There's budget, amount spent, CPM, impressions, link clicks, cost per click, click-through rate, clicks all these different columns to look at. And then I actually like to, we're going to do a recording of this webinar, so stick around for the whole thing. I'm going to show you lots of stuff, but this is actually the column that I like to use. Go back and watch this or be taking notes, hopefully, If you don't have a pen and paper handy, I would go either try to grab one or maybe watch the replay and then take notes again. This is the kind of stuff that I used to watch 3 to 5 times just to absorb all the information, because there's a lot of high-level stuff here, and I want to make sure that you guys get everything I'm talking about. And I know I move fast sometimes, but just trying to provide as much value as possible. So I have my own custom columns, and this is some of the stuff, like you can see website conversions, cost per website, add to carts, website purchases, cost per purchase, all sorts of different stuff. So the columns are really important, but let's get back to building a campaign. So I'm just going to show you how to build a campaign. It's really easy once you get the hang of it. So we're just going to click the Create Campaign button. I like to name it, so let's go down here. So there's about 5 campaigns that I use, but just for today, we're just going to do post engagement. And I like to call it PPE. This is a post page engagement ad. And I'm going to name it Watch, because that's the product that we're selling. And then that's an ad set and an ad. I just copy and paste it all there. So this page, there's not really much you can do. You can see there's a lot of options here, a lot of things to click on, but I just go straight into ad set. And then right here you can see budget and schedule. You got a daily budget or a lifetime budget. There are some benefits to each one, but for today we're just going to do daily budget, and we're just going to do a $5 ad. Now what I like to do, I like to launch my ads at 12:01. And it depends on where you're launching your ad. If you're doing it in the U.S. And you're in the U.S., do it for 12:01. If you're in another country or if you're doing worldwide, you can just launch it right away. The reason I do 12, because I wanted to get about 12 hours worth of data before most people log into Facebook. And the prime time for Facebook is about noon to 6 o'clock. And so I wanted to spend some money before then so that it can get, so it can kind of learn, because Facebook ads are all about buying data. So the more data you have, the more successful you're going to be. And so you have to spend some money without making some sales at first sometimes in order to buy that data. I made my first sale after about 18 hours, but for those first 12 hours, Facebook was learning how to find the audience that I wanted to talk to. 12:01 a.m. and we're probably going to do a worldwide ad, so that's not going to matter. I'm going to kind of touch on this. Now, don't schedule end date. I always run as ongoing, because if your ad is working, you don't want it to accidentally end on, if you say end on November 30th and you're making a ton of money with your ad, your ad spending $5 and it's making $25. You don't want to cut it once it starts working, because once you turn off an ad, you lose all the optimization on that ad. The only way not to lose the optimization is to increase the daily budget by 20%. If you touch anything else on the ad, you change anything in here after you launch the ad, your ad completely starts over from scratch. And so you don't want to do that. You want to run ongoing. A lot of people get worried and they change something, but when you change something, might as well just make a new ad, because at that point you've lost all your data. So you can do based on location. Now, if you're a small local business, you can actually drop a pin right in your town and just do a 10-mile radius, or even a 3 to 5 mile radius if you're in a metro area. And you can target, if you're a hairdresser, you could target people that are interested in, or I wouldn't even do much targeting on that. I would do very broad targeting and just target everyone, because everyone needs a haircut, right? And so in that circumstance, I would just target everyone within a 3-mile radius, and then maybe offer them like a 20% off coupon, because if you give them a good haircut the first time and you can keep your customer retention rate up, you'll actually increase the number of customers you work with over that year. And if you can get 20 more haircuts out of them by giving one away at 20%, you've just gained a new client that you've sold 20 different times. But for today, we're just going to do a, actually, so I'll show you. So for if you're selling a product, you can do United States. That typically converts the best. You can also do, if you're doing like a digital product or you're okay with shipping out of the country, I like what I call the Big Six. So the Big Six is the United States, it's Canada, it's United Kingdom, Ireland, oops, and then New Zealand. If you're liking this webinar so far, put a 1 in the comments. If you want, put the country that you're in as well. I love seeing where everyone's from, and it's just kind of interesting because these days online you can literally live wherever in the world, and you can tune into these webinars online. So I'm seeing a lot of 1s. Yeah, you're in Australia. That's awesome, George. Yeah, awesome. Thank you. So so we are just doing the Big Six right here. That's what I call the Big Six. They tend to convert a little bit better. Now for age groups, you can change the age. Some people like to do age 20 and above because they tend to have a credit card, which is typically you can't really buy cash online, or you can't pay with cash online. So typically you want to target people that have a credit card. But these days a lot of 18, 19-year-olds have credit cards or a debit card because most people have a bank account by the time they're 16 these days. So I like to do personally 18 and then let Facebook's algorithm choose who it's going to show it to. And then, sorry, I had to get a drink. I get dry mouth. So want to keep going with this. So gender, I like to do all unless you have a really specific product. I would always do all, even if you're doing like a woman's necklace or a men's watch. You never know that if you might post that watch and a wife might tag her husband, or especially because it's the holiday season, that wife might want to buy that watch for their husband for Christmas. And so I always do both genders, and then you can actually go into demographics I'll show you real quick. I don't want to get too much into it. I don't want to get sidetracked. But you can actually, when you have data here, you can choose how to itemize, and you can see which device is selling the most, where it's where the placement is, locations, country, region. If you're doing multiple countries, that's always nice. Age and gender, which age is buying your product, which one's converting the best. But yeah, I'll show that on another webinar later. So right here, so we got the yeah, so we did countries down here. So I didn't talk about this as custom audiences. Once you start doing ads, you'll have custom audiences, and you can do lookalike audiences is where it gets really, really powerful. So what lookalike audience, so first custom audience. You can target everyone that likes your page or that has interacted with your page on Facebook, and you can remarket to them. Or if you have an online store, anyone that added an item to their cart, but what we call that is an abandoned cart when they don't purchase, you can retarget those people to try to get them back in your store. You can also, once you have 20 purchases, you can build a custom audience of people that bought your product, and then you can build a lookalike audience based off those 20 people that bought your product. What Facebook does is it looks for more people that look like those people that bought your product. Now what that means is that they take all the psychoanalysis about each of those people, and it builds a bigger audience of exactly what those people, those buyers look like. Because even though they like the watches, there may be some more specific, there may be people that might buy that watch that aren't in that interest group. And we want to be able to capture as many purchases as possible and maximize our ROAS, which again, that is return on ad spend. Most important stat in Facebook advertising. So moving on, you can actually do, when I was in Hawaii, You can do people recently in this location, traveling, who live, and so I was getting targeted with Hawaii ads. So right here, so I just remember off the top of my head, so this is the detailed targeting. We're going to do Invicta Watch, or actually I saved it, didn't I? So let's see if that works. Sometimes it doesn't always update. It takes a few minutes to update, but let's see if that updated for us. So watch group 01. So I'm going to edit this and do more countries here. Is that all of them? Canada? Okay. All right, so let's just check the questions again. If anyone has any questions, feel free to post them in the comments. Oh, Terry, you're in Atlanta? That's awesome. Los Angeles. I'm in Newport Beach, Sean. Caraco. I want to travel the world more. I haven't really traveled out of the country. I don't even know where that is. That's unfortunate for me to say, but I need to travel much more. It sounds like a great place. I know I've heard of that before. I feel like it's somewhere tropical, Samaya, and that'd be an awesome place to go visit. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so let me keep going here. Okay, so people, so we got this audience. You can even, when you do, like, let's say, so this is one audience that I do. I also do another audience of worldwide. Now, when you do a worldwide audience, you're going to get super, super cheap engagement. If you want to get 1 million views on a video for $100, you can get 1 million views on a video worldwide for $100. Now, what I would do is, let's say you're a small business, you can do a worldwide ad, spend about $40, maybe even $20, get 100,000 views on your video, and then duplicate that ad and convert it to either the big 6 or just in the United States or just in your country. That way, it has that social proof, and it shows people, hey, 1 million people watch this video, it's got to be good. It's just like on YouTube trending. When I see a video that got 10 million views in 3 hours, I'm like, maybe that video's funny, I probably want to watch it. And I know that it's just like when your friend gives you a suggestion for the movie. If your friend liked it, you might like it too. So it's that social proof that's very, very important to get those likes, those shares, and those views on the video. Now I'm just going to keep it simple today with this audience and the big 6. You can also actually narrow your audience and do flex targeting. You can go down here. This is one I like to use. This is a big secret I'm giving away right now, but engage shoppers. It took me a while to find this audience, but this is a behavior audience. Look at what it says in the description on the right. It says people who have clicked on the call to action button shop now in the past week. So these are shoppers. These are people that want to shop, that want to spend money. Now typically, just for the sake of this video, I want to keep it simple, but typically I like about a 2 million size audience, anywhere from 500,000 to 2 million on most of my ads. Sometimes up to like 3.5 million, but 1 to 2 million is really the sweet spot. But if you, but for the sake of this is fine. I just wanted to show you that audience insights and how the affinity score is really high on these people. And sometimes if you have a high enough affinity score, the smaller audiences actually do better, because I'd rather have 300 people that love my product than 2 million people that kind of like my product. So, oh, connection type. So this is really cool too. You can actually do, if you've ever seen those ads, hey, John Smith liked this page also, maybe you'll like it. And so once you get 10,000, 100,000, 1 million followers on your Facebook page, you can retarget friends of people that have liked your Facebook page. Just like I was saying before, if your friend recommends a movie to you, I was actually just asking my dad after this webinar, I'm going to go see the Thor Ragnarok movie. And I asked my dad because Justice League came out too, and I was like, and he saw both of them, of course. I haven't had time because I've been working. And I was like, hey, Dad, which movie should I see? Which one's better? And he said Thor is better by far. And so I was like, okay, so I'm going to go see Thor. Now, who knows which one's better? It's all an opinion, but I trust my dad's opinion because I know him, and I know that he knows what I like. So I'm going to go see Thor tonight because my dad suggested it. Just like if you were doing friends of people who like your page, it's really powerful, these little things that you can do on Facebook. And if you have an app, you can retarget with people that have downloaded your app or have played your app or have played a specific app. And like if you did like let's say you were doing a local business and you had like let's say you're a real estate agent and did an open house and you had like some wine and some hors d'oeuvres or something, you could have people that like click the maybe or the invited, the accept invitation on your event and retarget them with a new ad because you know they showed up to your event. These are really powerful things, and when you do these advanced combinations, the lookalike audience, the narrow audience, it's really, really powerful on what you can do with Facebook ads. But for the sake of this webinar today, I just want to keep it really simple because you don't have to know how to, I didn't know how to do all that stuff when I made my first sale, and so you can definitely make money online without those other techniques. So I'm going to save this as a new audience. Now I'm going to do same watch group 01, but I'm going to call it Big 6. Now you have your audience right here. And hopefully I'm not going too slow. Sometimes I go too fast, so I'm trying to go in the middle and still get you a lot of free value here and show you exactly what it's going to take to run a Facebook ad. And so I just want to show you some cool techniques without moving too fast, but feel free to take notes, feel free to copy what I do. Any of this is, you're welcome to copy me exactly. I copied a YouTube video word for word on my first Facebook sale. And sometimes copying success is the best in the beginning, and then you can mold these ideas into your own and implement your own strategies just like I have and come to your own conclusions. But for today, we're going to do, so right here, placement. You can do automatic placements or even edit placements. Now, automatic placements, I know it says recommended right here, but don't always listen to what Facebook says because they say recommended because they want to keep it cheap. The smart marketers, the people that have success, always edit placements because each different placement, whether if you're on desktop, mobile, Instagram, Facebook, audience network, which is like anything that Facebook, any app that Facebook's affiliated with, such as Tinder. If you've ever been on Tinder, I know I travel a lot, so sometimes I go on Tinder. Maybe I shouldn't tell you that, but it's the way that the world is working, online dating apps. So on Tinder, you'll see ads go. On Snapchat, you see ads. Snapchat's not affiliated with Facebook, but you'll see ads on these other platforms. When you're on banner ads, that's Google, but Audience Network, even banner ads on some of Facebook sites. But what I like to do, I do all devices at first, and then I actually go into that breakdown like I showed you earlier and see which one's converting better, mobile or desktop. Typically, about 90% of your traffic is going to be on mobile typically because people are on their break at work or they're bored in the elevator or you're waiting for a lunch meeting and you just hop on your phone and you're scrolling Facebook. So I do all devices at first. And then what I do is I cancel out all this. Now some people might do it different. This has made me a lot of money, and so this is what I'm going to share with you. So I cancel out everything except Facebook feeds. Now Facebook feeds, it'll look just like a post. The only difference between our post and a regular post is that ours says sponsored right there. And a lot of people miss that. When I didn't realize what the sponsored ads meant. I didn't really understand it, and a lot of people will just see it as another Facebook post. It's almost like advertising in movies. if you're watching a TV show and you wait for the commercial, you know an advertisement's coming up, so it may not be as effective. But if you're in the middle of the movie and Brad Pitt is in a movie, I'm just making this up right now, but he takes an Oreo and he dips it in a glass of milk and he eats the Oreo and he's like, wow, that Oreo was delicious. Do you want some too? And he's talking to some girl. That psychological thing that he just did is called native advertising, and it's him subliminally advertising to you because he just said he likes Oreos and how good they taste, and you're watching his movie because you probably like him as an actor, and so maybe you're more likely to go buy an Oreo later that day, and maybe you are now. I'm not an affiliate for Oreo, I promise, but that's just what came to my head. I like Oreos. I like dipping them in milk, and so that's just the thought that came to my head. But right down here, you can see specific mobile devices and operating systems. So you can actually target based on iOS, Android device. I like to use emojis in my ads, and each different version of phones and desktop and Windows versus Mac versus iPhone 6 and iPhone X and Samsung and the big Plus phones, they all show up a little bit differently. So when you get really, really good at this, and I'll show you this on another webinar, you can actually create 20 different ads based on where it's going to be located in Facebook and on which device, and you can optimize for each different device, which is really, really powerful when it comes to advertising. It's just like on TV. Sometimes there's 10-second commercials, sometimes there's 30-second commercials, and sometimes there's 2.5-minute commercials. But they optimize each of those commercials for a different message and a different result that they want. And so you can, oh, and this is really powerful. So a lot of people miss this right here. Let's say you're doing a video. If you're doing a video, click this button right here, and you'll double your money. What this does is when people are connected, it'll only show your ad to people that are connected to Wi-Fi. Now, what that means is that your video is automatically going to play when they scroll. You know when you scroll and a video just automatically plays and you're just looking at it, you're like, wow, this is a really cool video, and you just can't look away for whatever reason? That's because they clicked this button potentially. And this is what that does, is that it automatically plays your video on somebody's Facebook. I think there might be a setting that some users can turn it off, but typically people are going to have that turned on. And you can even do exclude categories and block lists. There's so many different things that you can do. But again, I just want to show you the 80% of what will make you your money, and the other 20% we can go over on another day. So right here, optimization for ad delivery. There's a couple ways you can do it. Post engagement. Now, I usually keep it on post engagement, but in certain circumstances, you can actually do impressions. If you just want views for really cheap on your video, impressions will show it to them as many people that will watch your video, or that it'll be shown to as possible. So it'll get your ad in front of tons and tons of people, which especially in local businesses and brick and mortar businesses, it's really helpful to have the impressions, because you just want as many people to see your brand potentially as possible, just like Coca-Cola on TV. I'm drinking a Coca-Cola, so that's probably why I'm talking about it. I wish I had some Oreos. I'd probably be eating some Oreos right now, but I don't know why. Maybe I'm craving Oreos or something. But I know I keep talking about Coke, but they're just a large company, and I'm drinking a Coke right now, so that's probably why. Again, not affiliate right here. But eventually you can get to the point to where, and hopefully I get there one day, but you can actually advertise by these companies just by mentioning their name. They do that on YouTube all the time. And so that's it for, yeah, you get charged per impression. We're going to do a post engagement. You can actually see over here estimated daily results. This isn't always accurate, but it kind of gives you a good estimate of what's going to happen. But it's all about your ad. So if you have a really good ad, you're going to blow these things out of the water. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. And this removing Instagram and audience network, don't listen to this. Facebook wants you to put it on all the different platforms because it's cheaper for them. It's just like the boost post. Never hit that boost post button, because that's the lazy way to do it. Sorry, but it's just a lazy way to do it. And Facebook will charge you 10 times as much for that, because these high-level marketers such as myself and even higher level marketers that are spending millions of dollars a month on Facebook ads, they're not doing that. They're putting people in this complicated, weird power editor that can be very overwhelming at first, and they're doing it the hard way because that's what's cheaper. So this is an ad that I ran for a customer right here. You can kind of check it out and see exactly what I did. I don't think it'll let me play the ad. Oh, it will. Now this was an ad that obviously didn't work and only got 2 comments and 16 likes. But I think it was much of the video, and I actually split test this about 10 different ways. I probably deleted most of them, but there was like this one that I did. This one, see, this one has 82 shares. This is the same ad, same video, but it's just slightly different. You can see compared this way to this way, it's a different thumbnail, different ad copy. That's called an ad copy, by the way, the text in a Facebook ad. And this is why I like Power Editor, because nothing goes live right away. You still have to review your draft items, and so you can launch about 100 ads at a time, or even just 10 ads at once, and that way you're not just launching your ads in the middle of the day, and you're not having to schedule them, and you make all your changes at once, and then when you're done, you click the launch button, and it makes them all go live. So what's cool about Power Editor is you can see this mobile newsfeed right here. You can actually see what your ad's going to look like on mobile newsfeed. So you can see I like using emojis, especially since it's Emoji Nation. Of course, it makes sense to use emojis, but emojis are just more engaging with people on Facebook. It tends to grab attention a little bit more, stops them in their tracks. So when you're on Facebook launching an ad, you want to think of yourself as a mall kiosk. Imagine when you go to the mall, you might be going to buy a pair of jeans at Sears, and when you walk into the mall, you're in there to buy a pair of jeans. You don't want to talk to anyone. You might have your headphones on, or you might have a busy day ahead of you, and all you need is a pair of jeans. Well, as you're walking by that phone case kiosk in the mall, they're like, hey, come here, or they want to fix your phone or something, and they call you over, and they stop you in the middle of your shopping experience, and they sell you something. And that's what Facebook's about. And so we want to stop somebody in their tracks on Facebook and get them impulse to buy this product right now, and send them to your website. So you can see Emoji Nation, do you love emojis? This is one of my formulas that I use, and so I do a yes question right there, and you can see, do you love emojis? It has some emojis, relevant emojis. Free shipping, magic pillow, an offer, grab yours. There's also a couple other ones I use, and then you have a link right here. I use Google Shortener. And then tag a friend. You want them to tag, like, comment, and share because it gives your ad a higher priority in Facebook's algorithm. So what that means for you is that you're going to get much, much cheaper engagement if you get shares. What Facebook will actually do, and this is crazy, but the more shares you get, you'll actually get free traffic on Facebook. Facebook will give you free traffic because Facebook wants people to come to their platform. They want people to want to go on Facebook. So if you have an ad that no one wants to see and it's a boring ad, Facebook's going to charge you a ton of money for that ad because they don't want to show that ad to people because people don't like that. They want to show something that people like. So if Facebook sees that you're getting lots of shares on your post, and 82 shares isn't nearly a lot. I only ran this ad for a few days, probably maybe 5 days, and I think it was like $3 a day for 5 days. And Facebook sees all the shares, and they put it to a higher relevancy rating in their algorithm, and they give you a lower bid rate, which Facebook has what we call an auction system. I don't even want to touch on that. That gets really high level stuff right there, but I will cover that in another webinar. That's some really complicated stuff that I don't want to confuse you or scare you away. You don't get this. I only started a Facebook about 2 years ago was my first Facebook. My grandma, I'm 26, my grandma had a Facebook before me, and nothing against that, but I just didn't understand social media, and I still am learning about social media. But the thing is with these basic things that I'm teaching you, you can make money online today, tomorrow, the next day, and eventually possibly even quit your job and live that laptop lifestyle that everyone wants to see. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to launch an ad right here. So I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it on my page. That's fine. So there's a couple ways you can do it. You can do create ad. You can do an image or a video slideshow. I'm not going to cover that today. I'm just going to do existing post. Now you can take a post that you've already posted on your page, and you can post that. You can post that video and run ads to it. And so you could run an ad if you want. Or what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new page post. Now this page post, what's cool about this is not going to show up on your Facebook page right away. So let's say you want to do 10 ads, but you don't want to spam your Facebook page and you don't know which ones are good. You can run 10 ads all with the same image with different ad copies, the text, see which one works the best after 24 hours, and then cut 9 of them and leave 1 running and then publish that to your page. So we're going to do a watch. We're just going to pull an image. I'm not going to go, I like to go on AliExpress and find an image or find an actual product, but today I'm just showing you how to make an ad. Oh, can't do that. So it's hard to talk and type at the same time. I don't know if you ever tried it. Let's do the Tag Heuer watch. This is the watch that I've been wanting. I don't even know how to spell Tag Heuer, but I do want the watch, the Monaco watch. This is my favorite watch, and so we'll just do this one. So we're just gonna make an ad for this watch. Now, obviously, I'm not selling this watch, but I'm just showing you how to do the ad. So bear with me here. So we're gonna do photo. Now what you can also do is you can see that this image is kind of narrow. So what I would actually do if I was doing this for real, I'd go to canva.com. It's a free image site. You just log in with Facebook, and then you can find, you click on like all your designs. Mine looks different because I've done thousands of these, but maybe it's creative design. I don't know how to get to the main, but yeah, so this is probably what yours will look like. And you can see like that's an Instagram, that's all these different things, but this is the one Facebook post with the waffle falafel. And then I would drag this here. I'd put this ad right, I'd put this right here. Drag and drop, I'd make it big, I'd crop it, I'd maybe put like some border, or I would make it look pretty, or I would actually probably pay somebody to make it look pretty because I'm not the best at that. But when I first started, I did it all myself. Didn't have any assistance, and so you can do it just by yourself. And I'm the worst graphic designer, but for the sake of this ad, I just want to show you how to do it. So, do you love watches? This is as easy as this right here. Watch. Do you love watches? Bam. Done. Now we're going to go to emoji. We're going to find a watch emoji, and this is just getemoji.com. And it has all the emojis here. I don't remember where watch is. Probably passed it, right? You guys are probably like, what? This guy can't even see. Okay, so, watch. I know they have a watch. Oh, right there. Duh. They changed this with a new version on me, so I'm not used to this. Do you love watches? Now, since this is a male watch, I may not put a heart. If it was a female watch, I'd probably put a heart, but I'm just going to put watches there. Or actually, I like to put it at the beginning. The headline is one of the most important parts because it's the first thing that somebody's going to read. And so I like to do a yes question, and then I like to capitalize U, capitalize L. Do you love watches? And then we'll just do this for that. And then I'm going to say, limited time only, 50% off. Now you can do whatever offer you want. You can do free shipping. You could say limited time only, this item's not available in stores, 75% off, whatever you want to do, it's up to you. You could say like maybe it's like a free like half off on a massage or a free dental cleaning. So yeah, so let's go back here. We're gonna pull a clock. You can do grab yours, claim yours. And then I like to do these arrows right here. And then I would put an actual link to my website, but that's fine. And then tag a watch lover. Comment below on your favorite watch. We want engagement. Engagement is like, shares, and comments because it gives more social proof to your Facebook post. If you have 10,000 likes and shares on a post, people are much more apt to buy that product because they figure other people have already bought and, wow, this is so popular, it must be cool. And if you only have 6 likes on your post, you may not sell as many. Your conversion rate may be lower. Now, I like to put a little finger, give Facebook the finger every once in a while. I know I'm not that funny. I'm not a comedian. I'm going to keep my day job. But comment below. You could even put an arrow pointing down. And that's it. That's as simple as it is. Now save unpublished post. And I am keeping this simple, but like there's a lot of other things that you can do with it. But this right here, what I just showed you, will make you money. I even was simpler than this when I did mine. If you have a Facebook pixel, you can do your Facebook pixel. You can do app events, offline events, and then you have your ad right there. Then review draft items, and so you can let's say you wanted to do another ad, you could like duplicate that, and run to the ad, and then you could actually just replicate it, and then maybe you say, do you love watches, and you say, or you say, are you a fan of watches? Limited time only, 50% off. Change one thing at a time and do maybe like 5 different posts and see which one works better. And that's called split testing, or A and some people call it A and B. I do A to Z testing. I split test oftentimes 10 to 25 things at a time in order to get good results, and I increase the chance of my success. So I know I went over a lot of stuff today. There was actually let's see if I covered everything. Page post engagement, audience insights, locations, worldwide, big 6, U.S. versus local, gender, age, interests and behaviors, location placement, that's the Instagram audience network. You can choose which devices. We're going to optimize for for page engagement. On your ad, you can do a Facebook post, which is what we did. You can do a dark post, which isn't going to show up on your page, which is what we did. You can also run ad revenue, ad money to existing live posts on your Facebook. You can do a Facebook ad, which is in on the where I showed you right here. Where was it? Right here, create ad. I usually tend not to use this, but you can. And then you can do a slideshow. Slideshows are really cool. So let's say you had like 10 watches. You can do a slideshow, create a slideshow. You can put like 10 pictures right here. Choose the image duration, fade, whatever you want. You can actually choose music, and Facebook has all these free musics that won't have any copyright infringement. And then, so that's our ad right there. That's it. That's as easy as it is.